Welcome to the Big Fat Real Estate Checks podcast with Marco Kozlowski, where we help investors like you get the knowledge and skills you need to replace your JOB with passive cash flow for life.
Welcome to Big Fat Real Estate Checks. My name is Marco Kozlowski, and welcome to another podcast. I'll soon be joined by Francesco Galluccio and Gabriel Araish, who will be helping me in an interview that we are going to be doing with a offender number one on the missing items in order for us to really get his deal pushed through. Now, the intent of this podcast and the last podcast is not to put anyone under a bus or to put this person down in any way. These are very common things that happen. And from an outside perspective looking in, having this insight is going to be very helpful when you start getting your own deals and following this process. So you can get 100% financed because it's so little risk. There's so much equity, at least 30% off, that even if something were to go wrong, it doesn't matter, because the lender will end up getting the property. But we can't go into a deal with predatory lending practices, meaning that I hope this person fails. We want this person to succeed. We don't want to just do a deal for it to go back to the lender. And the lender doesn't want to do a lot of deals that just keep going back to them, because red flags will be raised and they'll be labeled a predatory lender, which is not the point of the lending process. We want to lend money, do good business on an asset that is secure, that is performing as it should with the income that can be verified and proven, and we want the lender to get the right percentage so they win, and the student feels warm and fuzzy as well, in that the taxes, the insurance, maintenance, and all the management fees, plus anything that could go wrong like Murphy, there's still a significant amount of income. In fact, more income, way more income, to pay off the small payment to the lender, making cash flow every single month, having equity in the asset, and allowing you to refinance and pull money out once you go to phase two of the optimization to get to the refi. So very important to have all this in mind. And following this process, how important getting the right documents together and seeing what's missing and how to communicate with the seller is so important. So it's not that we're trying to not have this person succeed, because really I want this person to make a shit ton of money. Just good for them and good for me. And, we can sing from the rooftops, this person did amazing. But it's going to be very difficult to get money released when there's a lot missing. There's a lot of risk with that. And some of the things that are communicated aren't necessarily exactly as they are. So listen to this interview and you'll see. So enjoy. The man, the myth, and the legend.
What's up?
There he is.
There he is.
Did he wake you up? It looks like you're coming out of bed. What's going on?
No. Oh, the whole team.
Yeah. He wakes up at the crack of noon, just scratches all day long.
Nice. Love it.
You got the life.
I remember my first beer.
Yeah, I need one.
All right. Let me start with this. Income verification and management in place are the two most important items, right? And you're saying that there's a management company that's ready to go. If you can send me the 3 management companies that have said we're in, and so I can verify that. And I know there's estoppel letters. I saw those. The challenge with estoppel letters, and I don't think I've ever had an estoppel letter where the tenant hasn't left, like within weeks of us buying it. And we don't know did the inspector go in all the units or just the outside? Did they just do a 5 points, or did they go all over the place?
Last time I remember they did go inside. Yeah, they did everything.
Each of the units?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have my own money. I have tons of lenders that if it's under, what's your price on this? Like 80 something, right? If I'm not mistaken.
42.
Yeah. And then there's whatever repairs that need to be done. Do you have a budget on that?
No, I didn't get a quote.
Okay. If you can, that'd be great, because we want to overborrow so we can actually fix it up. Okay. But the things that I really, if there's a new tenant, then let's get the lease. I hope she hasn't put a lease together, number one. And the biggest red flag that I saw is HUD pays directly generally into your bank account. Now, I saw that she gets a voucher and she deposits the check, but if you look at the bank account, there's not one deposit where that is being put in. So it's like, where's the money going? So if I can't find a HUD check that is one, like she's getting the money, but where's it going? You can't go to a cashing place and cash it. Well, maybe you could, but she has a bank account. So I'm super confused as to where that money has gone. And I know that you're asking for things, and I get it. You know, you're asking and you're asking and you're asking, but asking to get laid and getting laid are not the same thing. If I can put it in those simple terms, right? So it's getting the necessary details, because I would hate for you to get this thing closed and then 2 months later you lose it because you're not making payments, because that's how it works. Two payments gone, you're out, right? So what was the point of all this work if you're out 2 months in? You want to buy something that's going to take care of you forever, not just get a deal to get a deal, right? So yeah. So I just want you to understand that, you know, we want to fund this, but if this was your money and, you know, you've done well in life and now you have all this cash and you want to place it so you make a stable return, so it's mailbox money, are you going to lend on a deal that you can't really prove? Like the one simple check that can be proven easily isn't even there. And that's the concern. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be an asshole and try to, you know, not fund this. I want you to win. You know, I want to put you up as my poster child and say, look what you did, you know, but I can't do that at the expense of a lender, and the lender won't lend the money. I wouldn't lend the money, right? Unless it's provable. All of us lend money, and and so that's that number one. Number two is you have to really understand that you have full control in your contract. Like your contract, if they don't give it to you, you haven't even started DD yet. Because the contract says, when I receive all these items, all of them, I start my due diligence period. And if they say, well, I'm going to sell it to someone else, I'm going to do this. They can't, because you have control until they give you what you need. So it's very important that you understand that in here, that you are in complete control. So they can bitch and they can moan and they can scream. Shit, Frank, that Econolodge, how long has that been under contract for?
4.5 years.
Still waiting for DD items.
Yeah.
He's had letter from attorneys.
Yeah, they tried suing.
Yeah, but
three times.
The contract's like Teflon. Like nothing's going to stick to you. So you're wearing a condom with this thing, man. And I'm just going to say it in a way that I would understand if I was your age. That's all. So it's just, you're protected. You're fine. You're double bagging it. In fact. All right. And you have them by the short curlies. You really do. They can't sell it to anyone else. They just can't. And if they try, then we have remedy for that, where there's in the members area. If you think that they're going to do that, you can secure your position with a
memorandum.
Notice of interest memorandum or whatever that is. Yeah.
Were there items missing from your exhibit B?
There's no leases. No leases. There's one lease. One.
I mean, they provided everything that they have, basically.
Right. Okay. So let's try this. You're going to a bank and you need a loan. And the person that's giving you the loan says, I need this, 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 and this. And then you go to the bank and say, this is everything that I have. Are they going to give you the money?
Probably not.
Why? But I gave you everything that I have. And the bank is, I want this, and I want that. But you gave half of one, a little bit of two, and absolutely none of three. But that's all I have. What's the banker going to say? Well, when you go get it, I'll give you the money. That's how it works.
So can the seller, in essence, if it's only the leases being outstanding, can the seller...
They have estoppel letters for everyone that's
I know they
signed by the
I recommend
tenant.
the estoppel letters, but can the seller go to the tenants and get leases and give it to... Will she still... Then if she gives you those 3-4 leases that were missing, in addition to the estoppels you got, is she in compliance? Does she hit every item on that exhibit B?
It's enough. I believe it's enough on the warm and fuzzy side. And that's why I want to, if I can assist you with the management company, because if they don't have leases, let's use our leases right away.
Yeah.
And say, here are the leases. As soon as these people sign this lease, we're going to close. She'll get them to sign it.
Because you might as well use your lease in that, because instead of her using her lease, which will hurt you probably, because then you're locked in for a year, whatever their terms are.
Okay.
That would be the thing. Say, hey man, you said you signed off on this, you read it, that you were going to give us leases. You should have told us ahead of time that you didn't have the leases, and then we would have talked about it to see if we were interested. But in order to go to the closing table, here's our leases. If you can get your tenants that were there long term, whatever, to sign our lease, then if that's the only thing that's missing, I don't know. I didn't check all your details.
This is in New York too, right? This is New York State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the only other issue on this one that I saw when I sent you back a ticket was the geographic location. I know you indicated the county population. I know a lot of lenders get spooked on smaller cities. I do, only because I had a bad experience with a city under 30,000. Never along.
You had a really shitty experience. Murders. Well,
I had a lot of experience, but being in a small, we had the mobile home park. It was a 54 spot, and it was 35,000 population, and it hurt because it was hard to find management when we had to get rid of management. And Marco, I don't know if you recall, it was hard to find the maintenance guy because they were stealing from us, but it was hard to replace them. It was. I
spoke to Frank every day, crying the blues on this thing, and his wife. So it was traumatic. I don't think Linda ever wants to touch real estate again because of that property.
No, well, we got rid of it. We still made money, thankfully, but it was rough go. Only because, and that was in a city of 30,000. Like I had to get someone from Roto-Rooter in Tallahassee, which is like 45 minutes away, at $125 driving back and forth, even before they looked at anything. And I remember once we had a water issue and the meter was just going, we had to get someone. Either that or we're going to drown in debt with the city with the water. So my whole point is the population. So I don't know how some lenders are okay with the small ones. Like you're not buying a 54.
I can get past it because if you look, what's the gross on this?
$21.50 a month right now.
$21.50 a month. Yeah.
So that's, 25,000. No, that's 20.
Yeah. 25,800.
25,000. You're keeping 12 and, you're all in for probably 100,
Yeah, it was 80 something, right? But with some of the repairs,
and there's one unit that's still vacant. So there's some, and I believe they're under rented.
Yeah, she said she can fill it by March, so it would be 2,500. It would go up to 2,500 a month, which is
that what the rents are? 400?
She's gonna rent it for 350. It's cheap.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it in your best interest for her to tie it up with a 450 and then you're fucked for 1 year to optimize it?
I would have the management company do it.
Yeah,
honestly.
I would probably get it to do that. Maybe just get the leases in place with the existing, but I don't know if you want it filled, especially with a long-term lease.
Yeah, maybe improve it just a little bit and get $500 a month if we can. Because it would make sense if you can do some cosmetic repair and do some cosmetic things within the property. You're going from 350 to, probably 650. And then you do that with each of these units and you got 650, let's 650 times 5. That's, about 4,000 a month.
No.
3,300.
3,300?
Yeah.
So that's 30, that's 33,000 plus 6, 39,000. You do a Rubs rider. So you have a 0.6 at that point. You're at, you got a $250,000 property at least there that you bought for $100,000. Anyway, but I think I can get past the remoteness. I know Frank has PTSD over it, but I think I can get over it. It's the non-verifiable income that really just my spider sense doesn't understand how a HUD check doesn't get deposited. Where does it go? And if it goes into another account, that means the account that we're looking at actually isn't the account she's putting the money in. Because it's the easiest thing to track is this 407. And I'll never forget the number because it's Orlando's area code. Right.
They're on a highway.
That's the name of the tenant, Joe. Yeah. And you gotta understand from that perspective, if you are you're looking for the 407, and if it is going to a different bank account, how do you know that the bank account that she did show you, which was all over the place, some months were 900, some months were 3,000. Well, what do we know what tenants are really actually paying? What if they're lovey-dovey, like friends with those tenants are there and just sign the estoppel? That's fine. Tell them you're paying and then you get the fuck off when this guy takes over. And that has happened. Not to me, thankfully, but that has happened where you get in there and they're like, see you later. All right. Yeah. Or you don't even know if they're paying. They may be in arrears and they're not pulling the trigger to do evictions. Then what? So you're in a worse situation. Not only they're paying, now you got to spend money to get them out, which that happened to me.
Happened to me too. And you'll notice that there's two people with the same last name as well. So there's two family members living there.
Yeah.
And if one leaves, they all leave.
So yeah. So I just want you to really understand that, right? So it's not that we don't want to lend. We all, I want to make it happen. But if I don't, it's not about doing a deal for you. It's about making sure that if lenders start losing money on deals that we're putting together, my whole lending base is gone, right? On one bad deal. It takes one bad deal for things to get fucked. Case in point, Frank lent money on a deal and I vouched for it and it went south. I paid Frank out of my own pocket. I had nothing to do with the deal. I vouched for it. I'll pay it out of my own pocket because I don't want my lenders to lose when they do business with me. So I can't put someone in that position. And not that I don't love you. I just don't want to write a check for $100,000 because I see red flags already. If that makes sense. So I please close on this shit, but just give us something to verify. So if you can give me send me over the management company that you have lined up now and the other two backups, I'd like to just communicate with them, see where they're at as far as their opinion on the area and what's happening. I'll record the call so you can get a sense of that. And then before you talk to Maureen on this other tenant, let me see what the management company says. That'll be the first step because I want to help you. I don't want to write $100,000 check and lose, have someone lose. It's not fair. As much as I'd rather burn the money. So I'll get more views on YouTube.
All right. So management, you want to talk to management first and that's it?
3 management companies.
Okay.
Management, so you send me the management, say, do that. Here are the 2 backups. Let me communicate with them. And then I'll tell you exactly what to do next when I communicate with them tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Do you understand what's going on? Are you clear?
I get it.
Because when you talk to management, if they say, no, leave those empty, we're going to fill them. We're confident we can get X amount. Then that's a better strategic move than getting the owner to fill it, just to fill it because she wants to get rid of it. Because she may fill it with someone just that's not even qualified to be there.
Yeah.
Right. Because you say, well, we want to fill there and then we'll close on it. Well, she's going to pick anyone off the street.
Sure.
Right. So.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
Right. Where are you based out of?
Staten Island, New York.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I know.
He's got the Impractical Jokers over there.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I love that fucking show.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. Yeah, it's a great show. All right, man. Get us what we need. We'll take it from there.
I'll be in touch.
All right, John.
Appreciate you, man.
Watch out, buddy.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. So there you go. Now, after this, we did get the information to the management companies, of which one was not taking any more clients. She was too busy. And the other 2 we're still trying to get hold of. So there you have it. There are very specific things that are missing, some red flags that are up. And it's not how much someone wants to get a deal done to get finance that matters. It's can we really secure our lender so we don't have to use any of our money because there's no risk in this deal at all. And there's tons of money available for the right opportunity. And there's tons of great opportunities out there if you have the skill sets and are well trained. So I got to tip my hat off to offender number 1 for going through the process. And yeah, lots of frustration. Yeah, lots of irritation that, hey, I've asked for shit and I'm not getting it. So it must be Marco's fault. No, just because you ask for it and they don't give it, you have to be firm in your contract that protects you. And that's why we gave the best possible contracts to our tribe. Now, I get it. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. And if you follow steps and if you are ready to really make big changes, you too can be extremely successful. When you're ready for the next step, you know how to find us. Send us an email, marco@marcokozlowski.com. I'd be delighted to help you. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, this episode, please like it, love it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell everybody. And we're always looking to give the best possible content, but most importantly is get you in action and start getting deals immediately. And there's tons of cash for you if you follow steps. And it's really step by step, and you just have to follow simple rules. And if you're ready for that, let us know. We're happy to help you, happy to get you to your first deal. Get into action. We can't wait to see you on the next episode. Talk to you soon.
If you like this episode of Big Fat Real Estate Checks, then show some love by leaving a comment and a good rating. Also, as a thank you for tuning in today, we've got a special free gift. The journey to passive cash flow for life starts by finding deals, and it's easier than you think. Simply go to getdealsbytuesday.com, enter your email address, and we'll send you a free quick start course called Deals by Tuesday. Even if it's 11 p.m. Monday night, this course will show you how to find discounted real estate deals by Tuesday. It's that fast and simple. Go to getdealsbytuesday.com and start your journey toward life-changing cash flow today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.